Yeah, you read that correctly. These things were never made for you. I actually had this thought today whilst I'm in the middle of making a Spanish tortilla, and I figured, you know what, I think it's worth making a quick little video about my thoughts about the RayBan Meta smart glasses. We're almost at 2 years now of having owned these things, and I've made numerous videos about them. You can check those out later if you want. But this is going to be the most recent update, and I'm kind of just going to touch mostly on the point about why I don't feel like these glasses are actually for you. They're actually for Meta. I don't think many people are really talking about this. First of all, RayBan Meta smart glasses, there's another version of them, which is the Oakley Meta smart glasses. I'm sure you're aware they are AI smart glasses. Look super sleek. We have the Wayfarers like this. I've had transition lenses put in there by VR Wave. I'll leave a link down to that down below, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But they just look like regular glasses, as you've probably seen. There's a shutter button on the top because there's a camera on the front and a light that indicates that the camera is on the right. And then there's also built-in speakers, so you can listen to it like a pair of headphones, and then also talk to the AI voice assistant, and then also make phone calls and stuff like that. So amazing piece of tech, relatively decent price at around $300. But I don't think that these were ever made for you, and I think that anybody that buys them is mostly part of a tech experiment. Now, does that mean it's bad? I don't think so. I don't think it's bad at all. Actually, you know what? I'll just wear these whilst I'm talking about them. I think what it does is it allows the early adopters to use the technology, give feedback on it, and it allows Meta or Luxottica to get feedback on the design and the things that are good and the things that are bad. Why do I think that these are not for us? Well, there's so many things that have never been changed. One of the biggest complaints about these is the fact that they film in vertical 9:16 and not 16:9. So many people want it to be to have the option of filming by 16:9. Therefore, I could also put that footage in this video without having to either crop in on it, punch in on it a lot, which is not great because it's 1080p footage or thereabouts, or put that blurry, fuzzy side thing on the sides so it kind of doesn't look as jarring. They're not going to do that. They're never going to do that, in my opinion at least. Why? Because these things are designed to capture content for their platforms primarily, which is why they're in vertical format. Instagram, vertical format. Facebook, less so, but mostly in either a square format or a slightly more vertical format, 3x4. So therefore, these glasses only produce content in those formats. I really believe that this was Meta's attempt to get you to post more. The more you post, the more content you create for their platforms, of course, the more advertisement or ads that they can put in front of the viewer of that content. So it's about making capturing and posting easy for their platforms, which is why they've also integrated features that allow you to automatically post from your glasses or capture and post your glasses straight to Instagram and Facebook. They're also integrated with WhatsApp as well, which is great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that because we often use most of these platforms anyway. And to be honest with you, most people are probably going to be posting from their glasses to Instagram anyway. But there's no integration with TikTok, which is interesting, although TikTok is a vertical format platform. So I really don't think that these were actually designed for us at all. There are features that make it interesting to us and make us want to purchase them, which helps them, of course, fund this big experiment of how can we get, at least this borders conspiracy now, but of how can we get a lot of people to purchase products to post to our platforms more and more and more and grow our business. I really do think that that's part of it. But like I said, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I'm really stoked that we managed to have glasses today that we can buy that have integrated headphones into them and cameras and all the AI functionality in something that it doesn't look like crazy, dorky AR glasses. That's kind of my thoughts on it. I just feel like these things are not made for us. I'd love to know what you think down in the comments down below. Do you kind of agree? I guess we talked about the camera side of things, but I also think the AI side of things as well. We're definitely helping at least guide or train their AI models. I don't think it's that helpful though. So far, they've talked about all the different, well, you might know at this point that they have live AI, so it'll be continuously on. You can ask it what you're looking at, you can ask it various different questions like a regular LLM, but the ability to retain that information and make it usable, like copy and paste it to something else or anything like that, is not there yet. They have recently, with their new update, allowed you to set reminders to Google Calendar. I think that's an important and interesting thing to take note of. Facebook isn't really set up like Google is in that way. So they're going to have to integrate other services into the glasses eventually. But they've got a new event coming up here in the next 2 weeks where they're going to apparently be announcing another set of glasses that are going to have an integrated screen into them. From my understanding, it's not going to be the most or the biggest and the highest resolution screen, but it's going to be the first step for a major company like Meta to put something out to the consumer that is wearable. I'm going to be really interested to see how that works and how the AI features are integrated into that pair of glasses. I think it's going to require a chunkier design of glasses, and many other people have been saying that same thing, because the battery life on these glasses already is pretty dire. After 2 years, if I'm listening to music, I get about 30 minutes maybe, especially if I record a couple of times. So it doesn't last very long. I have to keep it in the case a lot of the time as well. So if you add a screen to the glasses as well, there's going to be it's going to take a hit to the battery life, or you're going to have chunkier glasses to hold a bigger battery. It'd be interesting to see how they get around that design issue. But I do think having a display in the lens will really help enhance some of the AI use cases of these glasses, because right now I just don't really use them very much. Maybe if I'm thinking about it, I'll ask a question here or there. And I think the use case of asking it to add something to a Google Calendar is helpful as well. But my point is that I think having a screen with a bit of a heads-up display will allow you to interact with that AI in a better way. Right now, you just have to remember to use it. And it's a bit of trial and error. And most of the time, if you think of something, it doesn't work anyway. So then you just stop using it. So if I said, I don't know, make me a template for Notion or something about this, it's not going to do it. So you just don't ask that sort of thing anymore, and then you just keep it to generic things like, I don't know, on average, how long does an egg stay good for, you know? And it can probably answer that, which is great, but so can your phone, and you probably have that in your pocket anyway. That's kind of my thoughts on the RayBan Meta smart glasses, where they're at, and where we're going a little bit, and just having that observation of, I don't think that these things were made for us. There's limitations, and those limitations are basically designed around the use case of them, which is to get you to use them and post on their platforms. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you agree with me, or do you think I'm way off the mark here? Will you be looking forward to the new event that's happening in a couple of weeks? What are your thoughts? I'd love to know down in the comments down below. Also, if you can subscribe to this channel, it really helps me out. I want to get to 20K by the end of the year. That's been a dream of mine for a long time. So if you can subscribe, that'll help me make that happen. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh yeah, there are links down below if you decide to pick up anything.